Good morning. Hi, everyone. I'm Michelle Salters-Williams. I am your host for this morning's breakfast. I am so happy to welcome you all. Our second year back in person, yay, with more folks than last year, so that's wonderful. This is the 18th annual Friends and Neighbors Breakfast. And so I'm so pleased to be able to host you this morning. I've been involved with Friendship Place. Those of you who were here last year, you know this story. I've been involved with Friendship Place since 2005, when it was my first job when I moved to DC. I was able to get hired at Friendship Place as residential, what was it? Residential programs manager. It's been a long time. And so very glad to be here again with Friendship Place and continuing to support the great work that's being done. We're going to take just a few moments to hear a few words from Marjorie Dick-Stewart, who's the chair of our breakfast, who was unable to be with us today, but we have a video.
Good morning, and thanks to all of you, friends and neighbors of Friendship Place, for attending today. Special thanks to Chris, Charisse, and Jean-Michel, and everyone at Friendship Place who makes this possible every year. It's Jean-Michel and your team that change so many lives year after year, and we really appreciate you hosting tables and being here to join us. I'm so honored to be the chair this year, even though I'm not in town and I can't join you in person. And I wish that I could see all of your beautiful faces and how happy you are to be here with us. My affiliation originally started with Friendship Place with my brother Billy. His mental health issues, living in the streets of New York on and off throughout his life, got me very interested in helping others in similar situations. This is actually our biggest fundraiser of the year. So please enjoy your breakfast, make some new friends. I hope that you will give generously, and I look forward to seeing you all very soon.
Thank you. So even though Marjorie couldn't be here, she did bring several tables of friends. So if those tables would like to raise their hand. Yay! All right. Thank you so much for being here. We're so honored and thrilled to have you. So we're going to take a quick poll. How many people here, this is their first Friends and Neighbors Breakfast? Raise your hand. Oh my goodness, yay, okay. That's wonderful. We hope you will come back year after year. We want to also take the opportunity to thank a few different groups of people who make everything possible. First, our table hosts. Wave your hands, table hosts. You have filled the space. You have filled the space for us today, and we so appreciate you. Next, we'd like to thank our board members, both present and past. Raise your hands. Nobody wants to raise their hand? Okay, all right. All of our current and former volunteers, are you here? We can have a round of applause for them. Our current and former staff. And lastly, we'd like to thank, not lastly, but we'd like to thank anyone who's ever donated to Friendship Place. And finally, the most important group, people who have participated in our programs. So if you've ever benefited from Friendship Place's services, please, we want to thank you for reminding us daily that homelessness can happen to anyone and that the human spirit is infinitely resilient. A round of applause. We have such an awesome community of people. Every year, every opportunity I have, I'm just so pleased and blessed to be able to be a part of such a dynamic organization that's making such a huge impact here in the District of Columbia and beyond. We know that you're here today because you care deeply about ending homelessness in our community, and we're honored to have you. We want to also take this opportunity to recognize the Washington Hebrew congregation who has supported us and worked with us. and work with us to ensure that we have a safe space. And we're so grateful again to be together. We want to specifically thank Mohan Mistry and the entire team for their constant support as we navigated the challenges of putting on this breakfast both last year and this year. Now, thank you. We will stop clapping soon. And now I'd like to ask Lindsay Feldman to come up from Washington Hebrew Congregation to give us words of introduction.
Hi, welcome, good morning. I'm Lindsay Feldman, the Executive Director of Washington Hebrew, and I want to extend my warmest welcome on behalf of Washington Hebrew. Community is a wonderful thing, and one of the best things about community is how it enables us to do things for others, to welcome others that we cannot do as an individual. And Washington Hebrew is honored and blessed to be part of Friendship Place community. We have tremendous respect for the incredible work and sacred work that Friendship Place does. We have a long history and a partnership, this breakfast, winter warmth, Sunday stuffings, Mitzvah Day projects, and now the Brooks. The Jewish calendar, we just had a holiday called Sukkot, where we build a sukkah. It's a temporary dwelling. We build a sukkah, and we come together, and we gather. And often people will connect Sukkot with one of the Jewish commandments, which is helping others, including giving housing for those in need. I'm going to quote a Greek proverb. Society grows when old men plant trees, the shade of which they'll never sit in. Good people do things for others. So, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting Friendship Place. Thank you for doing good things for others.
Thank you, Lindsay. We're excited to present to you an amazing program this morning. You'll have the opportunity to see how your support can help provide services to those who are affected by homelessness right here in Washington, D.C. And you'll have the opportunity to hear directly from our CEO, Jean-Michel Giraud, on how we intend to innovate into the future and grow our work. The last 2 years have been challenging for everyone. I would say probably the last 4 years, are we talking about? 6? It could be, I don't know how long. But Friendship Place has stood strong throughout. We've opened a new program in the last year, Valley Place, and we've continued to operate our other groundbreaking programs and completed a successful 30th anniversary Hope campaign. So thank you all who participated in that. We're going to take a moment to show a video featuring Delonte Jones, who's one of our program participants.
My name is Delonte Jones. I'm 29, Washington, D.C. I grew up in Florida, Highlands County, Avon Park area. My childhood was a lot of moving around, foster care, St. Anne's, PIW, and things like that before I found a family who would take me in Florida. I was in St. Anne's, which is a Catholic place for children in foster care who are looking for placement. I was about 7 and a half, going on 8 when I got adopted. I was 8 and a half, 9. At first, it wasn't really cool. I didn't know what to expect. And most of the foster families I've been with just wanted money out of me. You know, they just wanted the government to pay them or help them out with their houses or whatever they wanted in life to get ahead. And this family, they didn't want anything from us. Yes. I talked to my foster father a lot, almost every day. My foster mom passed away about a year and a half ago. Well, high school was pretty challenging, but with my foster father and foster mom, they definitely made it possible. I went to a private boarding school called the Vanguard School in Lake Wales County to attend college, Beacon University, which helps people out with disabilities. And I had dyslexic, so words would kind of switch up on me when I was reading and things of that nature. And I did 2 years there in culinary arts. I love to cook. Yes, I cook a lot for my son. Swimming was my favorite sport. I was definitely one of the fastest guys. I didn't really like losing or getting hit, so I never lost in swimming, and I didn't have to worry about getting hit on the field. So that was number one for me. I did that all the way through high school. I then ran into a place called Friendship Place, and I met some wonderful people who told me that they had my back for the rest of my life if I needed me. And it's been a hell of a ride. They helped me out with a lot of things, such as housing, getting joint custody of my son, just being a man again. Well, Friendship Place provided me services to advance in the workforce when I was doing solar panels, things such as solar and energy background on my computer when the pandemic was going on and no one would accept you in classes. Friendship Place, in the snap of a finger, said, we got somewhere for you. They provide me with housing. So, actually they helped me with one of my best friends here. His name is Apollo. He's my service dog, actually my emotional support dog, and we're looking to enter some shows and things of that nature, and they're helping me out with that as well. Well, my dream for my son is not to have to go through the things that I went through. I want him to be happy with whatever he does in life. So I want him to be the best, the best trash picker or the best baseball player or the best football player. I just want the world for him. The next job that I'm hoping to get will be my career job, my ending job that I hope to retire from one day. And maybe it can escalate me into some better security work. But Brinks Armored Trucks is where I'm looking to head to next. One word for Friendship Place. Wow. Friendship Place is amazing, phenomenal, great. All of the above. Past expectation. A dedicated organization, a loving place. There's no one word for Friendship Place.
Thank you to Delonte for sharing his story with us. Now we're going to proceed to eating breakfast. So if you haven't already, please do so now. Thank you.
I'm Jean-Michel Giraud, the President and CEO of Friendship Place, and I'm delighted to see so many of you with us this morning. Thank you for coming to our Friends and Neighbors Breakfast, and it's great to see the old friends and so many new friends. Each year, Friendship Place serves close to 4,000 men, women, and children who come to us seeking a fresh start, crafting person-centric solutions for each person who needs our help, making sure children don't have to sleep in cars and ER rooms, waiting rooms. Friendship Place was launched by a vision and a dream, the vision of our founders and the dream of community members who knew that we could do better in serving people in need in an alternative way, in serving our homeless neighbors. They crafted the phrase, and some of these founders, I'm happy to say, are in this room today, and I think it says a lot about Friendship Place that 31 years into it, we have founders with us this morning, including Mr. Don Boardman, our founding president. Thank you, Don, for being with us. Thank you. These visionary leaders who have made our work possible were fueled by a sense of justice, a sense of compassion, and a sense of hope. A belief that lives can be rebuilt after homelessness. I'm really honored and grateful to be serving such a great community. Our work moves me because we put people first, because we treat people with dignity and put all the human qualities in what we do that need to be there. It moves me because we stay in touch with trends and we adapt our mission year after year to make sure that people who come to us for help find actual solutions and solutions that we share now at the national level to help move the field of homeless services forward. It also moves me because, as many of you already know, my brother, Daniel, experienced homelessness right here in Georgetown many years ago. There weren't a lot of services in these days when he was sleeping in the winter in an abandoned building. It also moves me because, as a young immigrant of 18 in California, friends helped me, and the help they gave me made the whole difference. I know things could have turned out very differently for me without them. Over the last 30 years, Friendship Place has increased its capacity to offer housing solutions by looking for new possibilities as soon and as much as we could. Like Housing First, which took us to the city level, and like Rapid Rehousing for Veterans, which took us to the regions level. These new models we trusted and invested in gave us greater capacity each time and more resources to share with the people who come our way for help. We've grown our model internally. We used to serve only single adults, as some of you remember. We now have developed specialty programming for families, for youth, for veterans, blending private funds and public funds, and this is really our strength. These private funds that we raise through events like this, and I want to thank all the donors in the room for this, make it so that we can catch absolutely everybody on time by adding the other solutions, and we don't leave anybody behind. So thank you for this support. Thank you for helping us meet everybody where they are and to meet each person's needs now. And you know, in homeless services, now is critical because now is when we need to act. From the early days, some of you remember, of Zeke's House, Veronica House, The Haven, Metropolitan House, Crossroads, the other congregational shelters. We're part of a movement with over 30 religious congregations at Friendship Place who give us their support. From these early days, we drew the know-how to run larger facilities like the Brooks on Idaho Avenue, La Casa in Columbia Heights, and the newest one, Michelle mentioned, Valley Place in Anacostia. We did this always driven by the belief that we need to put people first and to honor their humanity. We were really proud last year when the city reached out to us and asked us to partner on Valley Place, this new co-ed bridge housing facility with a capacity of 52 that allows people to move from homelessness into housing in 90 days. It's a wonderful new solution, and it fills a gap that we had on the single side. I know many of you were concerned about the single side falling a little bit behind as the family side grew. We're part of this, and we're delighted. Years ago, when employment became such a dire need following the 2008 crisis, we developed Job First. This is our flagship job placement model. We believe that everybody we meet is employable, very basically, and we put people in jobs in 90 days. This new model, along with other models, is being shared at conferences throughout the country and on webinars these days, of course, and helping the field move forward. I am delighted to share with those of you who may not know that yet, that Job First is actually a part of the DC legislation. DC added it last year, and this was the result of our advocacy effort. So now we have a base to work on. Thank you. A base to work on with the city to grow this model. We want the city to fund this model better. It's effective. We cannot end homelessness unless we help people get jobs now, get jobs quickly. Good. Thank Thank you. When I think of Friendship Place, I think of passion, vision, never giving up, getting the job done even when things are difficult, like during the pandemic. And at Friendship Place, we did just that. We've been making sure that people who are vulnerable get their medications, their food, and the other things they need as we keep them as safe as we can. Friendship Place really has what it takes. An excellent programming and clinical base, paired up with an incredibly vibrant community that makes everything we do possible. This is a really powerful blend. And what has happened in Upper Northwest in the last 31 years is an example for the rest of the country. Neighbors pooling their own resources together in the beginning started a movement that keeps on growing and now inspires communities across the nation. At Friendship Place, we've always looked toward the future, and we continue to do that despite the challenges that you hear about, of course, out there due to the pandemic and other things going on. We worked on prevention before the model was recognized, saving a family the agony of the last 90 days at the dinner table, wondering when they're going to have to leave the apartment. We didn't want that to happen to families, so we used the prevention model before it was recognized. Now we want to look upstream. We want to help people who are seeing the early signs of destabilization. We want to root out homelessness before it even happens by strengthening households before the downward spiral activates. We want to do more work with returning citizens. We want to grow our youth programming. We want to increase our job placement capacity to welcome more people, and we will this year, into our permanent supportive housing program, and to do more for veterans. We also want to work with the city to grow this bridge housing model that we've started, and we want to do more to fight systemic racism and to promote LGBTQ inclusion. So I know that our vision is ambitious, it's wide, but I am reassured by the fact that you will stand by us all the way as we make it come true. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for everything you do for us, and your support means the world to me. Thank you.
Okay. How's everyone? Good? All right. So I'm going to introduce our next two speakers who will come to you one right after the other. The first is a Friendship Place participant, Rochelle Ellison. And then our next speaker will be Marjorie Hughes right after Rachel. Rachel, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm a former participant of Friendship Place Day Center. And when I walked into Friendship Place in the early 90s, I was broken. I was mentally unstable and was running from a lot of early childhood trauma. I didn't know who I was and felt invisible because I was homeless for 17 consecutive years. But as I walked into the day center and they embraced me and started calling me by my name, I felt human again. I started to see that glimmer of hope that I never had before. And I started to believe in myself and my capabilities. I went there every single morning until I got to the process where I was ready to do the work to change myself because I had such a powerful, amazing support system at the Friendship Place Day Center. Every day I went there, I felt alive. So after a number of years going there, they gave me the courage to go back to high school. I graduated with my high school diploma in 2016. They gave me the courage to believe in myself, to get mentally baseline because they offered psychiatry services and Unity healthcare services. So I started self-caring and started believing in myself even more. After that, I got clean and sober, and I have 8.5 years clean and sober today. And it truly didn't stop there. Because of the amazing work that they were able to do with your generous support, I was able to change my life. I decided I wanted to work in the same field. So I graduated from Department of Behavioral Health, Mental Health Certified Peer Specialist Training. I became a nationally certified recovery coach. Today I'm a double major in Strayer, getting my psychology degree and my criminal justice bachelor degree. And this is all because of walking into the door of the day center and somebody believing in me. I'm an ongoing work in progress, but my journey began right there with someone saying, Rochelle, just calling my name because I felt so invisible when I was homeless. Someone giving me my respect and dignity back and helping me to believe that there's nothing that I couldn't accomplish and that they would support me throughout the entire duration. So to Friendship Place, I thank you. To all the amazing people that continue to support Friendship Place, please continue to support so the people walking in behind me, we can help them get to the same places that I've been able to do, the same things I've been able to achieve. And thank you for asking me to speak at this breakfast. I am so grateful and so honored to Friendship Place and all of you. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Marjorie Hughes. That's a hard act to follow there. I don't have that long a history, but I am a former participant with Friendship Place. I was at the program at Valley Place, and I was there. I entered in March, and I recently got my own place. Thank you very much. And it was all in all a great experience. I became homeless as a result of my landlord passing away. And I rented a house from her for 12 years. And her family sold the house, to make a long story short. And there my homeless journey began. And I'm a former DC police officer. And so I've got to see what shelters are like from a police officer's perspective. And when I became homeless, I knew that was not an option for me. I'm not made out of whatever it takes for people to be able to go in shelters. It's just not in me. But thank goodness they came up with transitional housings, because there were times, for a couple years on and off, I stayed outside, either in a car or on a porch or somewhere. I would go off by myself and go to sleep, because in my brain I was not homeless. I didn't associate myself with the homeless or none of that in my mind. But, you know, it is what it was, and now I'm here today to say that I was homeless. Was. But in any event, my stay at Valley Place, via Friendship Place, it was very pleasant. They never dehumanized me. They were always very supportive, always there to see if I needed anything they could do to help. They came and made me get out of my room, because I used to stay in my room all the time. And then they got sick of me once they got me out of their room, let me tell you. But it was all in all a great experience. And a good part of that, I'm sure, was due to the support that comes from you all nice people here. And on behalf of that, I'd like to thank you all for that support, because I'm sure I wouldn't be here in the position that I'm in today. That a year or so ago, I didn't see it. You know, everything was hopelessness. I didn't see myself being in the nice position I am today, with a very, 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 very nice apartment. Very nice apartment. No. And like I said again, I want to thank you all for your support, and I want to thank you all for the people that come behind me, for the support and the potential of their dreams also being fulfilled as a result of your all support. And on that note, I think that's about all I have to say. But once again, thank you again, and you all enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Well, good morning. My name is Brenda Small, and I am a member of the Board of Directors for Friendship Place. How can you not be moved by the stories of Delante and Rochelle and Marjorie? Because I certainly am. In 2019, I felt detached and broken, disconnected, empty. There was a void. There was something missing in my life. And even with these great people at this table, from Keller Williams Capital Properties and EXP and the others who are supporting me, there was something missing. I had been used to serving at the Open Door homeless shelter over in Northwest with that ministry, and then that went away. So I stumbled upon Friendship Place, literally. I was looking for a cause, something that would make me fulfilled and make me feel whole again, even though, again, I had a full profession. And there it was. And I fell in love. And I volunteered with Friendship Place initially to help participants with their coaching and prepping them for employment. Jean-Michel talked about jobs first, the dignity that comes with having employment, a means of earning an income so that you can have a roof over your head. There was Friendship Place. And from there, of course, I got tapped for the board of directors. So be careful what you ask for. So, with that, it is my honor to ask you for your consideration today, this morning, in helping to end homelessness. Friendship Place had so many robust programs and services. I was amazed, and that's what attracted me. I could get my teeth into so many different things here. So I'm asking you to do the same for the Delantes and the Rochelles and the Marjories and so many more that we walk by on our streets every single day. You will not be able to turn your heads away anymore after this experience here this morning. So with that, I'm asking you to consider a gift or a pledge today to support our day-to-day work here at Friendship Place. And to further inspire you, I'd like to ask all of our Friendship Place donors to please stand up. Anyone who has contributed, given, invested in Friendship Place, please stand. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then I want our Legacy Society to stand so we can thank you. Anyone here from the Legacy Society? Don't be shy. Thank you so much. Now, here's the other thing to inspire you even more today, that for any gift that you give today, any amount, any pledge, there will be a dollar for dollar match. Yeah, a dollar for dollar match up to a total of $77,000. 77000. That's a generous matching challenge that has given us the opportunity from several major donors. So I'd like to ask our table hosts if you would pass out your pledge cards, and we'll give you a few minutes to do that. And if you give me a thumbs up, let me know when everyone has a pledge card, please. Everybody ready? So for those of you that are new, let me just walk you through the card. You see that we're asking you to join our Champions for Change by making a 5-year pledge. And your contribution will go to the unrestricted operating funds of Friendship Place. The first level in Champions for Change is a pledge of $1,000 a year. It's just an example of how you can transform lives. Now, if you're joining the Champions for Change today, thank you. We respect that you may wish to give at a different level, and that's also possible. So gifts in any amount make a difference. Just keep that in mind. So no matter what pledge level you choose, we ask that you make your first payment on your pledge today, if at all possible. And we'll put your gift to work immediately. Immediately, capital I. If you are a current pledge member, thank you again. We can't thank you enough for that. Now, then we have the healing level, just to give you an idea, and that's $1,000 can like fast track an individual from homelessness into housing. Doesn't take a whole lot, it just takes you and your pledge. The next level is $5,000 a year for 5 years, and we call it rebuilding. That's our rebuilding level. $5,000 can fast track a family from homelessness into housing and employment. And that we also know that some of you may be in a position to give more. So our next level is called flourishing. And that's at the $10,000 a year for 5-year level. And that can fast track 3 homeless youths into housing and jobs and added education. So you see that your pledge can make a major, major difference. Now, after you've made your giving choices, please fill out the cards, the form, and once you're done, you may pass them back to your table host. Let me just give you some other quick facts. On behalf of the 3,400 men, women, and children that Friendship Place will help this year, we sincerely thank you. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your giving. And we thank you most of all for taking the time to come out this morning and to be with us and to help us change and transform the lives of so many homeless people. You know, I always say that we're all one paycheck or one commission check or one Social Security check away. There's a thin line between being homeless and being whole. And let's just keep that in mind. But we thank you again for being here this morning. I'm going to turn it back over to Michelle.
Thank you, Brenda, for that. That was amazing. So we're at 9:32. We guaranteed 9:30. So hopefully you'll extend a little bit of grace to us. Please take the time now if you can. Everybody hasn't rushed out, so I'm assuming we all have a little time to complete your pledge card and to get it turned in. If you have questions about Friendship Place, your table hosts know so much, and they're available to you. I'm just going to extend on their behalf, not just now, but later, too, if you ever have questions or want to know more. But we thank you so much for coming out this morning and appreciate your support. And please know you're impacting thousands of lives. Thank you.